Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, and welcome to ParkBuilders Unite! Echo. It's a show where we create concepts and build upon ideas, and with me is AdvBlueDude. Say hello.
Hello.
And Space Mountain. How you doing?
Doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I'm doing great. So we are here, the three of us, to finally, after goddamn like a year of planning.
Oh, it's been more than that.
I'm saying a year on the WDW Magic Awards. I know it's been more than a year.
I remember this is one of the first things you told me when we started this.
Oh dear God. We did do a Park Builders for Gotham City, but I feel like we didn't really have the structure of the show down just yet, and I don't really feel like a lot of our ideas were that great for Gotham City, so this is pretty much our official pilot episode of Park Builders.
Yeah.
And we're doing something very interesting. We are essentially going to talk live on air, brainstorm, and see if we can come up with some ideas for Disneyland's third gate, the third theme park at the Disneyland Resort, which should be located, by all accounts, it should be located at the patch of strawberry fields on Catalina Avenue that Disney has bought and has fucking owned for decades at this point. Now, this is actually in conjunction with WDW Magic's Imagineering boards. So what we did with this series is we first pitched the idea to WDW Magic, had them come up with some stuff, and now we're going to take kind of their general concepts and sort of build on them. So like I said, we're creating concepts and building upon ideas. So this is actually, AdvBlueDude, do you want to explain the theme of the park we're going to be talking about?
Yes, the theme of today's park is literature.
And I'm sure you're excited about that.
Yeah. I have a rather unhealthy obsession with Victorian literature specifically.
Oh, yes you do. Yes you do. Okay, so basically the way this came about in the forum was people kind of suggested a combination of Disney Sea and Animal Kingdom. And from there, we got the idea of doing like a dinosaur attraction at the center of the park. Excuse me. From there, we, I believe I was the one that threw out Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World as the basis of the attraction.
Yes.
And then it just kind of went from there. We kind of got our idea for the literary theme park, and here we are. So I guess... are we all in agreement that the main icon should be themed around Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World?
Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of? That's what we're here to discuss.
In my ideal world, I think we should keep Mount Prometheus. I like the idea of that.
I'm going to fight you on that one.
Okay. I think we can very easily combine themes from the Lost World and from Journey to the Center of the Earth, because a lot of themes are the same, where I think we could play more into the dinosaurs and the weird fantasy plants and magma monsters, where like we could use similar things while also being different.
My whole thing with using Mount Prometheus again is kind of like, keep in mind, this is going to be the central icon of the park, is that I just don't want to do that. I just don't want to repeat something. The only time that I can think of where a central icon of a park has outright just been copied, just verbatim, was I believe that Tokyo Disneyland Cinderella Castle is like a copy of the Walt Disney World Cinderella Castle,
yes.
Correct?
And Hong Kong is a copy of Disneyland.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, you know, we have that's why Disneyland Paris's castle is actually probably my favorite castle. And then, of course, I mean, if you look at just kind of the lineage of Disney parks, you know, you've got these great icons. You know, you have Spaceship Earth, the Tree of Life. Even DCA had Grizzly Peak, which I thought was a great icon, even in the opening days of DCA. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Space. What's your opinion on this? Break the tie.
I'm actually going to side with you. I think that I think the castles are a little bit different in the sense that they're like an icon of a Magic Kingdom park. But if we want to go, totally literature, I think there's a lot of things that we could pull from that doesn't necessarily have to be an exact copy of Journey to the Center of the Earth, because that's a very iconic location. And I think that one of the things I think Disney should stray away from is having multiples of things in parks. I think that
that is why the original DCA was such a failure.
Yeah, I hope they don't bring Cars Land to Hollywood Studios, because
I would be pissed. I would be pissed.
Yeah, because that should be something that is specifically in California, and then maybe like Avatar is specifically in Animal Kingdom.
You guys can keep Avatar. That's fine.
No, we don't want
fine with me.
You can have it.
We probably are going to end up with a bigger Star Wars land.
Not necessarily.
I think that they'd be pretty similar sizes.
We might end up with a Star Wars park.
Disneyland's got a huge plot of real estate to work with Star Wars land.
Aren't they doing it in Toontown? Aren't they taking out Toontown for that?
No, they're not taking out Toontown. They're essentially taking out the entire backside of the Rivers of America, all the way up through until Fantasyland.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting location.
So basically, like, everything from Rivers of America all the way up until, like, so Big Thunder Trail's going to be gone, the ranch is going to be gone, the barbecue's already gone. So stuff like that. I don't know what they're going to do to the backside of the Rivers of America. That's kind of a mystery right now. People are even speculating that the Rivers of America as a whole isn't going to come back, which I don't think that's the case. But
I doubt it.
Yeah, that would be very extreme. But,
here's a thought for an icon.
Mm-hmm.
What if it was nothing? If it was an open lake in the middle, and then a circular, because this is a very small location, right?
That's very true. We have to keep that in mind.
One of the things that it's like basically the size of California Adventure.
Original California Adventure pre-Cars Land.
Right. So I think one of the things that I threw out in the brainstorming thread was something like sprawling vistas, and then you had mentioned that it's still a small location. So, what if we had like a lake that we could have maybe a nighttime show on?
Wait, okay, hold on. I'm getting an idea here.
And
so I really liked your suggestion of a Great Gatsby dark ride.
Oh yeah, like have his like the West Egg, or what does he live on, the East Egg?
I'd have to reread the book.
Yeah, one of those, but you could,
it's one of the two.
You could have his mansion jutting out into the lake, and then have
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe like a Charles Dickens Oliver Twist land coming out, or town area coming out into and have like separate areas around this lake of literature.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds a little too Islands of Adventure-y. And I don't think that the Gatsby's mansion should be the icon of the park.
Why not?
It's just not big enough, I don't think.
What, you mean physically?
Yeah.
I don't think, maybe not the icon. I wouldn't put it as the icon either.
I don't think it could stand as like a weenie, is what I mean.
I think it could, because if you read that book, there's some very vivid description of that mansion that...
Yeah, but in like the center of the park.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think that would I don't think that would get people to like run to the middle.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. It's not like the Matterhorn or something like that.
What if our icon wasn't based on any story in particular?
I like that. That could work.
What I'm thinking is a possibility. We could very easily have an entrance land act as London, like general London, Dickensian, whatever kind of London you want.
Okay.
With Big Ben as a focal point.
Fucking A, I knew you were going to pull out Big Ben. God, how did I know that? I was going to suggest that myself.
Should have been faster, bitch.
Obviously, we used a clock tower as the center focal point of mere Disneyland back in the
That
day.
totally wasn't part of the inspiration.
What?
That totally wasn't part of the inspiration.
Are you sure?
No, it was.
No, that always stuck with me. I mean,
yeah.
I think maybe besides my avatar of Droopy as the Tower of Terror Belltop, the whole idea of like the clock tower as a central icon is probably the main thing that I took away from the mere Disneyland project. And I think it could work. I think you're right on the money there. I mean, we're ripping off our own ideas, so it's technically not plagiarism.
Really, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Space,
like
what do you
that
think of
idea.
Big Ben?
I like that idea. Now, would this be kind of like a Main Street type area?
Yes. Yeah. London, I would say, like the most recognizable London would probably be Dickensian. We could do a ton with it because it would just be mid-19th century London.
Oh yeah.
I would just try to keep it separate from the London and Harry Potter. Like the water.
No, absolutely. It's entirely
that's very
different.
true. That's a good point.
Because never mind. They're building Hogsmeade in
Hollywood
Universal. Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, everyone's excited for that, but to me, it's just a clone. But whatever.
It is, but that's Universal. They like doing that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think Harry Potter has enough material that you could easily do a third Harry Potter land that's not based in Diagon Alley or Hogsmeade, but that's just me.
Ministry of Magic.
Right, yeah, something like that. Or just Hogwarts itself. Like the grounds of Hogwarts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
because all we really have of Hogwarts is just that forced perspective miniature.
And then when you go up close to it, it's not very impressive.
Right, exactly.
But we're getting off track.
Yeah, we are. Any attractions in this Dickens Main Street, AdvBlueDude?
Oh, I'd really love a time machine attraction. It's not Dickens.
I know it's not Dickens.
But it could fit.
Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes could actually be in the clock tower.
Yes, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I'm obviously just thinking of like fucking Great Mouse Detective here when I say that, but
it's okay though. I mean, it would fit very well. This is me bringing back old concepts again, but I think that actually, I don't know if any of you knew. I don't know if any of you saw this, but Sorcerer's Apprentice Season 2, I did a Jekyll and Hyde project.
A what?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Did you see? Yeah,
I did see that one. Yeah.
It was like Alien Encounter, but with Jekyll and Hyde.
I remember that.
And I think it could fit well in this land. So something to that extent, or even something just Jekyll and Hyde in general.
Okay.
I think it'd work.
On the subject of Dickens, in the Dickens land.
That's what I'm trying to think of. I mean, it's not Dickens specifically. I'm just. I don't know enough Dickens.
Honestly, the only Dickens thing that I can even think would translate into a theme park attraction might be Christmas Carol.
I was just going to say that could make an interesting dark ride.
It would. I don't know exactly how it would work, but...
Hard Times, probably not. Oliver Twist, I feel like that's...
Oliver Twist could actually work.
I mean, he could just do a general, like, hey, Dickensian London attraction.
Right.
Which could be cool, like with everything commingling, and like, kind of like shitty London 19th century. Like, everything's either dead or dying.
Right.
There's shit everywhere.
Oh God. Go for kids.
Yeah, really.
Just a bubonic plague attraction. Ring Around the Rosie. No. Oh God. Okay, so you have a swing ride attraction themed to Ring Around with Rosie.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Do we want to move on from this Dickens land?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's kind of just paint the map in our heads. We have the main street, we have the clock tower. The clock tower essentially serves as the hub. What would be to the left of the clock tower? What is essentially going to be our adventure land? Doesn't have to do with it. It doesn't have to specifically be with adventure. I'm just saying geographically.
I'd say Paris would probably be the next one after them.
Paris?
If you're thinking of...
Do we want to do this by city?
I would figure you do it by, like, genre or authors.
Well, then, who would be the main... I mean, there's Victor Hugo for Paris. Who else?
Victor Hugo, Jules Verne, Dumas.
Jules Verne, obviously.
Don't you dare forget my Jules Verne. Who else? I mean, there's a ton of French authors.
I actually think you could do, like, maybe a Victor Hugo land and Jules Verne land.
I actually think you could combine the two rather easily.
Could you?
Part of that's because Jules Verne is really influenced by Hugo.
Oh, okay.
So I think in that respect, like, it's completely different themes, but it's similar enough where it could fit.
Right.
To an extent. Like, I mean, like, it would work. I think.
I'm thinking Notre Dame could be a good weenie.
Yeah, like at the end, like in the corner.
And obviously you have the Disney IP already there to do a good dark ride with.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Fucking a guy like you, the ride.
The problem with Verne is that none of his books take place in France.
Right.
Like, literally none of them.
That's why I was saying. It might be a stretch.
That's the only problem. Yeah, you're probably right. Unless you want to, like, change things. Like, we could put, like, Around the World in 80 Days in there.
Yeah, that could work.
5 weeks in a balloon. Nobody would know what it is, but it could be a cool one to do.
Around the World in 80 Days would work well as, like, a Peter Pan's Flight style attraction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I think a Three Musketeers ride would be cool. Or a Count of Monte Cristo ride. That
would be cool. I'm down for Count of Monte Cristo.
For Dumas. I think that's about it for France.
But what about Captain Nemo? Are we doing anything with Captain Nemo?
We could, but he doesn't fit in France.
No, he does not. You're right.
Which is the problem.
Okay.
What I was thinking, I'll talk about when we get past Paris.
All right, so let's kind of move geographically towards the Frontierland hypothetical region of the park, where, actually, I was kind of bringing up. I'd like to see maybe. Okay, well, we want to do New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least like an American cityscape.
Sure, but I actually kind of really Do you think we could do a Mark Twain land and not have it be too similar to Frontierland?
I feel like
I'd like to say yes, but I don't think so.
Nathaniel Hawthorne.
I thought of Hawthorne.
You could have, like,
the problem with Hawthorne is that he's too early for America.
Yeah.
Like, if we do a theme of, like, New York City, he wouldn't fit.
No, he's more Salem-esque.
Exactly. I mean, we could do, like, a New England town land.
I mean, wouldn't that essentially be what the fuck ever is the...
It wouldn't be Liberty Square.
Yeah, Liberty Square, right.
Liberty Square is more like Virginia, Williamsburg.
Revolutionary stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like, this would still be revolutionary, but, like, New England, it could be, like, Winding Hills, like...
Right.
Like those smaller houses that are, like, made of wood, with, like, brightly colored. Like that kind of thing.
Ooh.
Wondering, what about a Russian author, like Leo Tolstoy?
I know next to nothing about Russian literature.
Neither do I. Like, I thought of Russian literature as well, but I don't know any. So if you know Russian literature, by all means, like,
Crime and Punishment.
Kick ass. No, yeah, we can do Crime and Punishment. We can do Lolita.
God. God. You know, for kids.
Even though I'm pretty sure, I don't even know if Nabokov is actually Russian. It's a Russian name. I just don't know if he's from Russia.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I think we should probably have some type of, like, adventure style, I don't know.
Well, actually,
And,
there was one land that I was trying to figure out, and I don't know if it would be realistic. It probably would
Because
be realistic.
Treasure Island actually popped into my head.
I was gonna say
That'd
Robert
be
Louis
cool.
Stevenson.
Uh-huh.
That could be a good one.
I was wondering if like a waterfront land would be realistic.
Well, with the waterfront land, we could fit in a lot of different things. We could fit in a Mark Twain.
Not necessarily Mark Twain.
Why not Mark Twain? What do you have against
You'd
Mark
be
Twain?
more like Rivers.
I know.
Like, I was thinking, like, we could do Nemo, we could do Moby Dick, we could do Treasure Island.
Hell yes, Moby Dick. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I just read that book last year. That book's actually pretty incredible.
I've been meaning to read it. I've been to his house.
Have you really?
Yeah, he lived in my town.
Like, and I heard the movie was very boring.
Oh, yeah. He had a portrait that looks like Bill Murray, and I wanted to steal it for the longest.
Oh my god.
It's kind of incredible, because I'm pretty sure it's like an actual 18th century portrait. But it looks like Bill Murray, just like all up in garb.
Who knows? Maybe it was an 18th century portrait of Bill Murray. We don't know if the man's not immortal.
I mean, he probably is at this point. But yeah, like, I think like a waterfront land could work. There's another one for waterfront.
The Shakespearean land.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That'd be an interesting one. Yeah.
Everything I know about Midsummer Night's Dream I know from Sandman, but still.
You can do like the Tempest in the Sea. It'd be like a water ride.
Right.
Or no, I think it's just a Tempest. I forgot.
Oh, okay. So speaking of like water rides, what about Homer?
Oh, the Odyssey?
Yeah. Oh my god, that could be like the Pirates of the Caribbean right there.
That's something we've done before.
Merchant of Venice.
Odyssey is a Pirates of the Caribbean ride?
Yeah, season 7.
I don't even remember that at
Do
all.
you not?
No, I don't.
That's the first project I ever did.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I apologize.
I don't care. It was like 5 years ago. I don't give a shit.
King Mickey, I feel like King Mickey's projects kind of like overshadowed all of the rest of season 7.
Oh, probably.
With the, between the Ferris wheel and the whatever the fuck he did for the last project that blew my mind.
Oh, the horror one, or?
No, it was the mountain with all the creatures.
Oh, yeah.
He had this really eloquent way of describing the creatures. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Anyways.
This is why I wish these weren't lost. But
I know.
But anyway. Yeah, I think like a waterfront land could really work. We could do Treasure Island if we wanted to. We could do Nemo. We could do Moby Dick. I had others, but I can't. If we wanted to, we could extend into the air as well.
Oh dear God! Now you're being like Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, because literally the land's at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and it makes no goddamn sense because it's spread out all over the place. But it's land, sea, and sky.
Oh bullshit! I don't mean it like that. I mean like we could have like
literally like all the roller coasters in that park are categorized under land, or I'm sorry, under sky, but they're spread out throughout the whole goddamn park. It makes no sense. It's completely nonsensical.
Well, no, I mean, like, we could have, like, a waterfront that's also, like, a transportation hub in a sense. So, like, we could have the water rides. If we wanted to, we could do, like, a ride for Rober the Conqueror, which is a Jules Verne book. There's a bunch of things we could do.
Othello?
I don't know if that would work. That's a little bit too racially sensitive, I feel.
Yeah. I did Othello in drama for senior year.
Oh, did
I played Iago.
Oh.
And the only reason I played that part was because I was like, oh, the name Iago! I want to play that character because I recognize the name. Oh, God. Okay.
Alright, so should we, like, recap what we have so far? So
yes.
If you've been writing it down, sure.
I have been, yes.
Cool.
Most of it. So the main hub area is going to be like a Dickens London. We had a Sherlock Holmes ride in the Clock Tower, Big Ben. We also had, little areas around. We were debating Christmas Carol maybe for a dark ride for the London area. And then we moved to the left, which was the Adventureland area. Or, well, not really. It doesn't have to be Adventureland, but
Geographically, yeah.
yeah. Is the Paris land.
Right.
We didn't really get anything.
I think we can all agree about Hunchback.
Yes.
Hunchback and having the. I don't know about the. Would you replicate Notre Dame?
Yeah.
At least the scale bird.
Scale, yeah, exactly.
Okay, a scale.
And then the
bird.
Count of Monte Cristo ride.
Yeah.
I think it worked.
There's actually a church in my local town that looks a lot like Notre Dame.
Son of a bitch, Phantom of the Opera.
Oh God! Hold on, really quick with this.
Right there. I'm sorry.
So there's this church that I always walk by, and it looks exactly like Notre Dame, except to a theme park scale. And I'm always like, oh my God, this church would make like the perfect exterior for a fucking Notre Dame ride. Because it's like perfectly to scale with how it would fit in a theme park. All right, anyways. And then the funny thing is, in Sebastopol, there's like a version of that church that's even smaller, so it's like a theme park scale of the theme park scale, if that makes any sense. No, it doesn't.
No, but Phantom of the Opera ride, actually, that could be cool. It could be a cool water ride.
Oh God.
Go through the Paris catacombs.
True.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Adding that into the list.
Thank you. And then what else was there?
And then we just kind of scattered. We went to a bunch of things. We went to Jules Verne. Went into the Shakespeare land. What else is here? And then we were talking about water transportation and water-based rides.
I think out of those, I think the biggest potential would probably be. Okay, how about the waterfront goes into the Frontierlands geographical area, and then I'm actually thinking Shakespeare would be a good thing to have like behind the castle, if you will.
Behind Big Ben?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm thinking Shakespeare, like A Midsummer Night's Dream, would probably be the e-ticket there. Just because it's the most fantastical Shakespeare attraction.
Yeah. So that makes total sense.
Right.
Like and that'd be a water ride?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So what do we have in particular for the waterfront, though?
That's where we kind of were. We didn't really get very much in.
Okay, well, we definitely had Moby Dick. I think that's a good idea.
I know I said Moby Dick. I said 20,000.
I don't exactly know how you do a Moby Dick attraction, though.
Oh, neither do I.
What would it be? Would it just be a bunch of people on a boat and then like a giant animatronic whale attacking them?
Yeah, would be cool.
No, it'd be like the Jaws attraction in Universal.
Well, I would think, like, I don't know.
I think Moby Dick is like a little bit larger scale than Jaws, though. That's the problem.
Well, maybe it would be like a projection.
Well, projection? Really? Really, Space? Did you really just say that?
Yes.
Yeah, it can be a shooter.
Oh, God.
I don't know what the ride could be exactly, but I think it'd be really cool to have, like the Pequod in the harbor, and the queue goes onto the Pequod, and then into the hall. Or into, like, the lower decks,
I like that.
the queue going in through there, and then you kind of, like, I mean, it still looks like you're in the boat, but now you're, like, under the harbor. And
what about the ride vehicles are themed to the lifeboats?
Yeah, like dinghies.
Yeah, that could work. That could
be really cool.
Did you see In the Heart of the Sea?
No, I heard it was kind of lackluster.
It was really boring.
Actually, I thought it was pretty good.
My grandpa liked it, so...
Yeah. I was only saying that because we were talking about like a New England style town.
Right.
Since it took place on Nantucket, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
There once was a man from Nantucket.
We're not doing that in our park.
But it could act as like a gateway to that area of like a New England.
Oh, into like a
town.
Hawthorne, like New England.
Yeah, something like that. Where Moby Dick is like the one on towards the water, and then as you go inland, you get more.
That'd be really cool.
I like that. Okay.
That could be like its own separate, and maybe we can go through time too. as
Also,
like a
really quick,
Yeah.
I think we should come up with some sort of transitioning point between Paris and this land we're talking about.
could be a bridge over
Yeah.
water.
Something simple.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Okay.
maybe a Midsummer's Night's Dream goes below when you have to walk over it. Because it doesn't really rain very much in California, so you can have a lot of outdoor attractions.
It doesn't rain very much in California.
Well,
You
it's
should be
raining
happy,
now.
damn it.
Oh, I am happy. Believe me, I am happy. But oh man, we are getting pummeled right now.
You are.
Pummeled.
But on average,
Watch Adam the Woo's Daily Woo video from today. He films the Disneyland Railroad, and there's fucking like hardly anyone in the park. Anyways,
yeah, maybe you
Space.
can have something like that. Something basic.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, for the Midsummer Night's Dream attraction, I forget.
Just
what
have it
park-
be a straight up adaptation of the Sandman story.
No, but for the ride system, I forget what park it is. It's in Italy, I think. But there's there's this boat ride where the boats are like buckets, and like it goes through. It might be Efteling.
I think you're
That's
thinking of
not
Tivoli
Italy.
Gardens, actually.
I might be.
I think you
Like,
are.
do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I'm picturing what you're talking about.
Like, I think that could work really well as a ride vehicle for that.
Uh
Ride.
huh.
It would be really slow moving. And it would just be a nice little Shakespearean thing.
Actually, Bonfante Gardens actually has a boat ride like that.
Do they?
Uh huh. And it's really nice. It's just a nice boat ride through some nice gardens and shit. Nothing too fancy about it. It's extremely slow loading for some reason.
I mean, I'm sure the capacity's shit.
Right, exactly. Like, I remember, like, I'd go to Bonfante Gardens on, like, days where there'd be no one there, and we'd wait, like, a half hour for that ride.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Actually, I just had a thought. Since we seem like we're going around in like certain land-specific attractions,
Right.
maybe because we threw around the Jules Verne stuff, maybe we can like splice him into different areas, or just keep it in like a imaginative literature land. So a
What do
lot
you
of
think,
the stuff.
Jokers?
What'd you say?
I was just asking Jokers what he thought of that.
Oh yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with that because, I mean, like, Jules Verne is one of those things where, like, stylistically, all of his books are the same. but content-wise, they're entirely different, where it'd be hard to put them all in the same place.
Right, that's what I was
So in
saying.
that respect, like, I think that's absolutely fine, which is why, like, I mentioned, like, 20,000 Leagues to Roper the Conqueror in that one land, while, like, we talked about Around the World in 80 Days in Paris,
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
we can put other things in other places.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah, I like that.
I still like that underground dinosaur ride that we were talking about.
Oh yeah, that kind of just like
I forgot
disappeared.
about that.
Should we talk? Okay, maybe so. Fantasyland is going to be the Shakespeare land. Should Tomorrowland kind of be the? Oh God, this is like a redundant as fuck sentence right here that I'm about to say. But should Tomorrowland be the Adventureland?
Actually, before we get to that, we should
Yeah.
probably, like, keep going around first.
Well, yeah. I mean, Is there anything else we want to say for the waterfront?
No, but I thought we were going on to the New England.
Okay, now I'm confused because I thought the next land after that was Shakespeare.
I
thought
guess you could kind of do that. I mean, we were talking about that before.
Because
Well,
one thing for the size I think we have to keep in mind is I really don't think we should have more than like 4 lands plus the main street.
Well, I mean, I pictured the Hawthorne land, or the New England land, is, like, in place of Liberty Square,
yeah.
with Shakespeare in place of, like, part of Fantasyland.
Okay, I
Also,
can go
we
with
don't
that.
have to. We don't have to do it exactly like a Disneyland.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just doing that just to make it easy.
We could do. I mean, like, just if you're gonna compare it to something, maybe like a
Disneyland's formula is a formula that works.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like in California Adventure, you have Hollywood Boulevard.
California Adventure's layout is shite.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it just is.
It's not the best.
MGM's is worse.
Yeah.
Oh god. And then Universal Studios Hollywood is just the fucking champion of terrible design.
Escalators.
Oh, lots of escalators. I still want to see them design like a Rip Ride Rocket style roller coaster over those escalators or something like that. Just give it a little, just something to fucking look at while you're going, besides like, oh, look at the nice houses on the Hollywood Hills. That's basically your view as you're going down those escalators. Anyways.
Okay, so what are we at?
I would think that the Shakespeare one could be also like Jules Verne, be spliced throughout different areas. Like we had the Midsummer's Night Dream water ride in the Main Street area behind Big Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I thought behind Big Ben would be like that sort of Fantasyland area.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I
Which
thought, I was still going based off of a water.
Well, actually, now that we're talking about, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be an all Shakespeare land. It could just be like Midsummer Night's Dream and then other fantasy-based attractions there.
Yeah, we could do that. I don't think Shakespeare we could pepper around the park.
No, I agree. Having said that, I think Midsummer Night's Dream is probably, like, easily the Shakespeare. If you're gonna do Shakespeare, that would probably be the one to do.
I agree.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Like fucking Romeo and Juliet or something like that?
I don't even think. Maybe just have a play, maybe, because we keep on doing rides. Maybe
that was actually something I was gonna bring up once we kind of made our round tour of the park was entertainment.
Yeah, or maybe like Streetmosphere characters.
Oh, I'm sure you could do a ton. You could do a fucking ton.
Phantom of the Opera walking around would be pretty cool.
That wouldn't make sense.
It wouldn't, but it would be awesome.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
I can point out so much stuff about Disneyland that doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, he doesn't have the Phantom walking around. I'm sorry.
What doesn't make sense is that they have all the villains that fell off of cliffs and died and stuff just roaming around.
They didn't die.
Just fucking roaming around, as if the continuity just does not matter.
They didn't die. They passed out.
Shut up. I'm telling you to shut up a lot. I'm sorry. I'm being very rude. Oh, God. Okay, what about... Well, I guess Clayton isn't really a walk-around character.
He used to be.
Because I was saying, like, that is a pretty definitive death. I mean, that fucker's dead.
I don't know. I left it pretty ambiguous in the shadows. The shadows could have been anything.
Okay. But any other... The thing with fantasy novels is that Disney has done most of them.
We could go into smaller novels. We could go into Grimm. We could go into Hans Christian Andersen.
But like I said, Grimm, if we go into Grimm, then it's like, would we specifically do, like, stories that Disney's not done yet? I think that's the problem.
I would say we could.
Okay.
We could do... we could do Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, hell yeah.
Not Tim Burton's.
No.
Oh.
Specifically
No,
Tim Burton.
no, specifically Tim
Yes.
Oh, God. Now I want to do that. Now I should take that to Mew.
Please.
I should be like, Mew, we need to design a Tim Burton Hansel and Gretel. Oh, God. Space, are you aware of the Tim Burton Hansel and Gretel?
I am.
Okay,
we talked about this on Disney Debates, remember?
Oh, that's right, we did. Yeah, you're totally right. I'm sorry.
I'm still laughing at the Phantom walking around.
It's just like really nice, like really nice. It's just like the exact opposite of what he is. It's like John having like a nice like Parisian jaunt. He's just hello. Hello, fine citizen. Going to the opera today?
Oh my god.
Now we have to
Enjoying
really-
my daily constitutional.
We're including that in the park now.
The phantom walk-around character is like the biggest thing in the whole park.
I was into Christine, but she didn't like me, so I understood.
Oh,
That was the end of that.
Walking through Nathaniel Hawthorne. Rolling around.
all right.
I think that's the most solid thing we have. He's going on the posters.
Oh, no. He's a park mascot. I mean, he's obviously
Really?
mint.
Meet the Phantom of the Opera
Yes.
in his natural habitat, outside in the streets during day.
Oh no. Oh no.
Fighting
I
Moby.
think this podcast officially went off the rails.
Probably. So what are we up to now?
Space.
I'm still cracking up.
I'll wait, because you're the one that's keeping track of this.
I had to compose myself.
Okay, so we have Midsummer Night's Dream, we have Hansel and Gretel. I think that's a great idea for fantasy. Anything else that we can think of?
1984.
Oh man. Oh,
How would
Jesus
that fit?
Christ.
I don't know where that would go, though.
We could fit that into Dickensian, sort of.
That'd be tough.
You gotta hear me out. There's one building on the street that's bombed out. And you walk
Ooh.
into that, and it's the start of the queue.
Ooh.
And then, like, the rest, like, it's all self-contained.
Yeah, I'd probably have it indoors and, like...
Yeah, but the transition is through that,
Okay.
where I think it could work.
I like that because I don't want to have like a sci-fi land. You know, I don't want to straight up rip off of Disneyland's themes.
Yeah.
So. Oh God! Although if we get into sci-fi, then you have like Asimov, Bradbury. Oh Jesus Christ!
Those are all on my list.
The door just gets wide open.
Yeah.
Oh man, Sound of Thunder would make an amazing ride.
I have never read that.
You haven't read Sound of Thunder, really?
There's a lot of things I haven't read.
Oh, what about Something Wicked This Way Comes?
No, I don't read Bradbury. And it's not like, oh, I don't read Bradbury. I just haven't read Bradbury.
Okay, that's funny because I've read barely any Dickens, but I've read almost all of Bradbury's stuff.
Oh, I haven't read any Dickens.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Dickens, Verne, Jules Verne.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
There's a lot of things.
That just goes to show you the difference between the two of us.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I just need to read, but I don't have the time. Like
But
how I
Sound
spent
of Thunder
3 months
is
reading
essentially
Infinite Jest.
Sound of Thunder would make a fucking great ride because it's essentially just going back in time for a tour of the dinosaurs and then shit goes wrong.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I just had an idea. We're gonna do Infinite Jest the ride. It's gonna be
Oh no.
it's gonna be 2 hours long, and nothing's gonna happen. 45 minutes will be tennis. It'll be great. It's gonna be spectacular.
Will the Phantom of the Opera be in
Probably.
it?
Oh dear.
It'd be a walk around.
But seriously, I threw out Something Wicked This Way Comes and all
He's just wandering into attractions. I'm sorry. Yes, Something Wicked This Way Comes will be interesting.
Like, I could actually see that going into the Dickens land. Or
Yeah.
maybe even the Paris land.
Yeah.
Just basically just have a circus. I mean, that's it. A circus could go anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're kind of we need to come up with one more land that kind of fits on the east side of the park.
Do we want to do New York?
Oh yeah, we should. We should.
Because we
do
brought
New
that
York.
up. I have a few
Right.
ideas for that.
Gatsby.
Yeah, Gatsby. I lost my list. Let me get my list again. I'd very much like to see a shadow ride. That'd be cool.
Will Eisner's shadow? Oh no, Will Eisner's a spirit. I'm sorry.
No, like the shadow. Like
What's the shadow? I'm sorry, pardon my ignorance.
It was a radio drama from the 30s, but it was also a comic book. So
Okay.
it's not quite literature, but it's close. I mentioned comic books in the post that I made forever ago, but it's essentially like it's just like this guy who dresses up in like a black trench coat and fedora, and he hypnotizes people.
So we can have that, but we can't have Neil Gaiman's Sandman Midsummer Night's Dream.
No.
I've lost my faith in humanity.
No, he's like a superhero. Like it would be cool. It would be a cool like detective ride.
I don't know. I'm not really.
I just like the
feeling that
shadow
one too much.
I know. I mean, I get it. I just like the shadow.
I'm just saying I don't really think it fits in with the rest of like the 19th century literature theme we're going with.
Oh, we're going all 19th century literature?
No, not all 19th century, but you know
okay.
what I mean.
No, well, I mean, New York doesn't fit 19th century either.
Yeah, but it's still literature.
Yeah, I mean, like when I would say New York, I would say like 1930s, 1940s New York.
Right.
Still
Is there actually
Gatsby.
anything besides Gatsby we could do for New York?
For New York specifically, there should be.
I know there should be, you would think. I mean, Gatsby's really the one that pops to mind right off the top of my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if it's just Gatsby, then I'm thinking we could work Gatsby in somewhere else.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's just a mansion. We could even work Gatsby into Fantasyland if we wanted.
Yeah, we could. Fuck it, let's do sci-fi.
Really?
But Asimov.
Oh,
I know, but my whole problem is that it's literally like in the exact same spot in the park as Tomorrowland would be.
I totally agree.
Oh, yeah.
Catcher in the Rye.
What the fuck would you do with Catcher in the Rye?
Let's do the Old Man in the Sea, the ride.
I'm just picturing Catcher in the Rye just being like a long tunnel, and you just hear a narrator bitching the whole time.
You just a theater with a show hosted by a really racist 13-year-old.
Just like a one-man show.
That's all it is.
Actually, I do a Catcher in the Rye one-man show would actually be a really interesting entertainment option, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
That really does. That gives me some ideas. That would be good. Just not as a ride, obviously.
Yes.
Or you could have the carousel from Catcher in the Rye. Just as a carousel.
Carousel?
Stew of mice and men.
And at the end, you get shot.
Lord of the Flies, the ride.
Oh, no. Oh, God. What would that entail? Just animatronics of dirty children popping out everywhere?
So much death.
Oh, dear. Ooh, okay, here's one that actually would legitimately be interesting. What about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
That wouldn't work.
It would. Have you read the book?
No, but I know of it. I still don't think it would necessarily
work.
work.
There's a lot of, like, fantastical imagery in that book, though.
Yeah.
So it would be a really interesting kind of, like, going into the mind sort of thing.
It would just be a huge mindfuck.
Exactly, and that doesn't sound awesome to you?
But it does, but it's Disney.
I know it's Disney, I know.
What if we did Africa?
As in the Animal Kingdom Africa?
No, as
Africa?
in the Darkness ride. As in, I just had Alan Quartermain, and
both those would work. Heart of Darkness really intrigues me.
We could do 5 weeks in a balloon. It's a Jules Verne book.
Uh-huh.
It's about a hot air trip across Africa. Essentially, there's a ton of books that take place in Africa because there were so many people going to Africa in the 19th century. So there was this whole like romanticism of Africa in that time.
God damn, if the Universal Dracula wasn't so iconic, I would love to do like a Bram Stoker Dracula.
Oh, I agree.
That would be fucking amazing.
Same with Frankenstein.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh man. Alright. So what are we coming up with this land? Are we doing Africa? Are we doing sci-fi? Space, what's your vote?
Mix of both.
Mix of both?
Sci-fi Africa.
Africa.
Oh dear God.
Okay. Let's work through this together.
Fucking giraffes wearing astronaut helmets.
We can do Chappie.
Oh God, that broke me right there. I mean, granted, I actually like that movie isn't great, but fucking, it's got robots and shit. It could work.
And it takes place in Africa. It's perfect.
Or okay, no, fuck Chappie. What about District 9?
Oh my god.
That would legitimately be badass. Just have like a giant spacecraft kind of like hovered like in the same way they're doing the Hallelujah Mountains at Avatar Land.
Yeah. I still think if we went with Africa, an Alan Quartermain Pride would be really cool.
I hate to say it, but I don't really know that much about Quartermain outside of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I haven't read the books. I've looked a bit into it. But essentially, it was just like a fictional African explorer.
Okay.
Where, like, all of his books took place in Africa. So it'd be like a really cool, like, Indiana Jones scale adventure ride, essentially.
Without Indiana Jones, which would
yes, it'd
kind
be
of
with
be
Quartermain.
pointless.
It would obviously be in the 19th century. Well, it wouldn't be pointless. It'd be like, it would be completely different.
But I mean, you don't want to just do Indiana Jones Adventure again.
No, it wouldn't be at all. I mean, like, thematically.
Okay.
Like, to compare it to something else.
Right, right.
It would be similar to that. But obviously different.
I don't know. Do we want to do sci-fi Africa? No.
No, I
We
was
should
just saying
combine
that.
the two.
Although
So
going back
Africa
to
or
New York,
sci-fi, that is the question. We need to decide on one or the other.
Space, what were you saying?
I was gonna say going back to New York, we were trying to think of stuff that was based in New York. What about The Godfather?
That's way too iconic of a movie, and it totally overshadows the book.
Ah, all right.
I've heard, I haven't read the book, but I've heard the book is actually like pulpy crap. Joker, do you know anything about that one way or another?
I haven't read the book.
Yeah.
Neither have I, but I was just thinking.
And also, I don't exactly know what you do with The Godfather unless it was a ride of just like avoiding being killed or something. Fucking the horse head opening scene.
We can do Ragged Dick.
What the hell is that?
It's a book from the 1860s. It was, like, it was written for children. It was about like this homeless kid who lived in New York City. His name was Dick. He was known as Ragged Dick. It was about like teaching him manners and how to get ahead in life, because he was a homeless kid with morals.
You know what? Screw Phantom of the Opera. We have to have Ragged Dick.
Ragged Dick.
It's the two-part icon.
Perfect. Holy shit! The Fountainhead.
That name sounds familiar. I know
It's
nothing
Ayn Rand.
It's what?
It's Ayn Rand.
Oh dear God. Oh God. Okay. In all seriousness, though, this is actually going to be a good argument for why we should do Africa. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
I can't believe we haven't thought of this yet, but Tarzan.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Disney version of Tarzan is actually very faithful to the Edgar Rice Burroughs version for the most part. I mean, obviously, he's not quite as savage or anything like that, but I think kind of the main themes of the story are translated really well, so I think you could do that.
Mm.
I mean,
absolutely.
fucking do a tree surfing roller coaster. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, actually.
I could picture that as a floorless coaster, maybe.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Uh-huh.
It'd be a lot like it'd be like a suspended coaster.
So, will that kind of sway the argument to make Africa our final land?
Sure. For now, yeah.
Yeah.
Jokers?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with Africa.
Okay. So, space, let's do like one more quick recap of what we have, and then I'd like to kind of round out the show by talking about some potential like dining and entertainment options.
Sure. So let me actually just. I can probably do it off of memory, but let me try and go find the list I had. So yeah, we started off with the main street is our Dickens London style land with Big Ben as and I lost it. I lost my whole list.
Did you really?
This thread, I guess when you save it and you leave the thread, it doesn't actually save.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It used to. Actually, I think you have to actually click save.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks. That sucks.
That's all right. So what do we have? We had London, which was Midsummer's Night Dream is behind Big Ben. So it's our Shakespearean style
As
attraction.
well as freaking what is it? Hansel and Gretel.
Yes. And then Sherlock Holmes was in Big Ben. We
Right.
had 1984 was off to the side.
I
in
love
like
that idea.
What's that?
I said I love that idea.
Oh yeah. It's in like its own enclosed area. Christmas Carol, Dark Ride, I believe, was also on the list.
That was kind of we pitched that idea. I don't know. I don't necessarily know what you do with it, but
I'd be
Yeah.
fine with it. I think it could just be a straight dark ride.
Yeah. And then you move into Paris, which we had the transition just be a bridge over water. And then the Paris land was Hunchback of Notre Dame.
right.
Had a model of the Notre Dame Cathedral. We had did we have H.G. Wells
In
I don't
London?
think we ever brought up
in
HG.
Paris?
In Paris? I mentioned the time machine for London.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, naturally, Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
It also wasn't Around the World in 80 days.
And Around the World in 80 Days.
Yeah, that was in Paris.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we moved into. Did we move into the Shakespearean land after that?
No,
No, it's the
after that
waterfront.
is the waterfront.
Waterfront. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was with. Was that the New England waterfront?
It was just a waterfront.
It was like a combination of different regions.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So
you
we
had
had
the
Moby Dick.
Moby
We
Dick,
had-
and then you had like the New England Hawthorne town.
Uh-huh.
Were we doing that definitely?
I think we just kind of threw it out there.
I don't
Okay.
mind it.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah. And then we got into New York.
No,
And
we
also
didn't do New
So New York was Great Gatsby, Mansion, and then a bunch
Yeah.
of other stuff that we didn't really get down.
Wait, no. Actually, New York, we kind of decided, like, since Great Gatsby was really the one thing we came up with, Gatsby would just be within another land.
Would you? I don't know how
And
that
I
would.
think the waterfront would work fine for that, because Gatsby's mansion is on a waterfront, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're just kind of transitioning through time.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's the transition between the two lands,
That could work.
because it's like kind of going through time from like
Yeah.
New England to 1920s. And then the final land was actually we kind of had two. We had one that was kind of adventurous, so we had Treasure Island and 20,000 Leagues.
Oh,
That's
that's right.
true.
Well, I don't think we need 20,000 leagues in this park, necessarily.
We kind of already have that at Disneyland, like with the Nemo
Not
ride.
really, but...
Well, I mentioned it for the waterfront.
Uh-huh.
I also mentioned a Roper the Conqueror ride for the waterfront.
Also, where are these fucking underground dinosaurs going to be? Africa. I
Underground.
guess.
Yeah, we could put it in Africa.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Perfect. We did it.
Yay!
We're done.
All right, really quick, kind of to round off. Do you guys have any ideas for like shows or dining?
Mrs. Lovett's Pie Shop.
Oh yes! Oh hell, I am all over that.
Good.
I actually do really like the idea of a Holden Caulfield one-man show.
We should never do that for a Disney
I
one.
think that should be like a real theater thing. One of the things that sticks out to me about Catcher in the Rye is this one little section where Holden Caulfield's like complaining, like, "Oh, I have a fucking hole in my mouth, and apparently, if you have a hole in your mouth, you have cancer. So it looks like I have cancer." Anyways, I mean, with entertainment, we can do a lot, obviously, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
We have the Phantom. We can do a Dickensian Streetmosphere.
That would be great. That would be great.
Oliver Twist.
Yeah, the Oliver Twist kids would actually pick your pockets.
Yeah.
Oh.
Going for some authenticity there.
Yeah.
But the Phantom of the Opera would stop them.
Yes. He's an upstanding guy. That Phantom.
Oh dear.
You can have the, I don't know where, it'd be like an Easter egg, but you can have the Big Brother eye somewhere.
Yeah. For
I
France.
can actually picture like a dining experience in Gatsby's mansion.
That's what I was going to say, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool. For
And you
France,
have
we could, it might not be thematically fitting, but we could do the Three Musketeers.
As a show?
No, it's just like, well, like this Streetmosphere show.
Oh, right. That makes sense. That makes sense.
There's something that I forgot to mention, but it's too late now. But I
What?
think Don Quixote.
Oh yeah, that would work.
Would that be an incredible dark ride?
I don't know enough about that to really tell, but
All I really know is the windmills.
right.
But if stylized properly, I know the windmills and I know Lost in Manzana. So
Sancho Panza.
yeah, or
That's bad.
La Mancha, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, Sancho Panza. No, like I think, but it's pointless. We're not doing that. Waterfront, I don't know. We could do a restaurant side of Will.
I mean, you can do a seafood restaurant. That would.
Yeah, no, we could very easily do a seafood restaurant.
I mean, if we're doing the Moby Dick attraction and the exterior is the Pequod, then we could have that just be a dining experience, like on deck.
Yeah,
of
if we
the
make it big
Pequod.
enough.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know how realistic that would be.
What, to just have people eat in there?
No, like I don't know how big the boat would have actually been.
That's true.
I don't think it would have been that big.
If you're doing the house, if you're doing the like the New England town, you can have the House of Seven Gables be a restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, we could have hangings in the square.
Oh my god.
Recreate
This is
the
a
town.
very non-Disney park.
The literature's very non-Disney. I mean,
Fair enough.
Hawthorne's surprisingly dark. Between the
Yes.
Scarlet Letter, and we'll have to do the Crucible, even though that's not Hawthorne.
Oh god. Let's just throw in like the darkest fucking literature we can think of.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, like Hunchback of Notre Dame, it ends with the ending of the book.
Yes.
You guys know the ending of the book, right?
No, I tried reading The Hunchback.
Okay, it's so morbid and dark. It's so fucking dark. So basically the ending of the book is they dig up Esmeralda's skeleton, and Quasimodo's skeleton is in her grave with her, just coddling her.
Oh.
So basically it's like Quasimodo just went into her grave and just coddled her until he died.
Oh.
And his skeleton, like, is attached, like, physically attached to Esmeralda's skeleton. And then literally the ending of the book is that they try to pull Quasimodo's skeleton off of Esmeralda's skeleton, and Quasimodo's skeleton crumbles into dust. The end.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty damn depressing.
Did you actually read The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
No. I've tried.
I got 60 pages in, and they just finished describing the Justice Building.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty much how that book is.
I never, like, people say that about Hugo, but I didn't think, like, it was actually like that. like in Les Mis, where there's apparently 3 chapters describing the sewer system of Paris and its layout.
Okay, I think we can kind of bring this to an end if you guys want.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
I
Okay.
think we have a pretty solid base.
I think so. I think so. I guess one last question. Is there any sort of like nighttime spectacular that you guys can think of for this park?
Okay, so Basil Baker Street and Radigan, they fight on Big Ben.
That would actually be pretty cool.
It would be awful for. I mean, it wouldn't fit for a literature park.
Well, technically, The Great Mouse Detective was a book before it was a movie.
Was it?
Oh yeah, that's where the Basil Baker Street title came from.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. What could
Or
be
okay, just instead of Basil and Radigan, how about just fucking Sherlock and Moriarty having like a sword fight on the Big Ben?
Oh my god. Actually, that would be cool.
Uh-huh.
I like that.
Like classic Moriarty.
Yeah, exactly.
Spindly bald man.
Okay, guys. Okay, so Space, do you think you can sort of summarize our ideas in the thread and then kind of go from there?
Yeah, and I'll see what everyone says.
Okay, so folks, basically now that we've kind of cemented a lot of these ideas, and Space will lay them out for you, and kind of like Space, if you don't mind just posting like a list of attractions and lands and whatnot.
Yeah, if I forget anything though, just chime in because
Sure.
Probably.
So what I want to see, folks, is I actually want to see this become a presentation, like a legit, as if we're turning this into a contest or something like that, to an Imagineering competition. So if people want to kind of start grouping off and doing stuff, I know it's not, even as I say this, I know it's probably not going to happen, but
No, we can do it.
if people want to start grouping off and, working on attractions and stuff like that, working on descriptions and stuff, that'd be great, because that really is the purpose of Park Builders, is to take something from the forum and then sort of fine-tune it in a podcast, and then fine-tune it even further into like a final presentation. So that's the goal.
Yeah. I mean, we can even start with Joker's You Had Your Jekyll and Hyde attraction.
Yeah, I can dig that up if you want.
Yeah, and just like post it as like an example.
Okay, yeah, that would work. Totally.
And then people can go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that'll do it, folks. AdvBlueDude, any inspirational quotes to take us out on?
We built some parks, and we united.
You're damn straight.
Yeah.
All right, just to take us out, give us a cheerful line from the Phantom.
Me?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, I'm the Phantom.
No, try harder.
No, that's what the Phantom will sound like.
That the Phantom could say.
No, he's just like going down his jaunt, like through like Paris, Gay Perry, and he's like, "Hey, everybody, what's going on? It's me, the Phantom of the Opera. You guys having a great day in Gay Perry? I am. I ate some snails, and I only saw 2 dead bodies. It's been a pretty good day for me. Well, goodbye for me to rescind back into my depths. See you,
So that
see you
note,
tomorrow."
have a good night, everyone.